Well, hello out there, beautiful souls. How are you doing? Welcome to Cancer Joy Club, where we don't just survive, we laugh through the madness, cry when we need to, and throw glitter on every scar. Today's topic, it's one that hits home for just about anyone who's danced with the cancer devil, and that is chemo brain. Oh, yeah, honey. That weird, foggy headed, where did I put my soul kind of confusion that makes you feel like your brain walked out mid scene and forgot its lines. But I'm here to tell you, honey, it's real and it's normal and it gets better. Let's get into the science, the stories, and the healing. All right. So you know, guys, that I go by acts, right? Act one, act two, or segments. But today we're going to call it acts because this chemo brain deserves a play. Okay, it deserves a script because it is something else, you guys. All right. So, act one, very simple. What is chemo brain? Okay. Well, chemobrain is the informal term for cognitive dysfunction that happens during or after cancer treatment. And honey, it's not in your head, except, well, it is, but not in the gaslighty kind of way. What are the symptoms, you ask? Well, you cannot focus during conversation. I would be talking sometimes on a podcast and I'd be like, oh my gosh, what was I talking about? Or somebody on a podcast would ask me a question during, after treatment when I was like just recently out. And I would be like, oh my gosh, I already forgot what it was. I would go on a tangent because I have the ADHD, and then I would be like, I have no idea what they asked me. So I'd be like, what was the question again? It's just, and then I would be interviewing people and they would be talking. And then I'm like, I have no idea what I just asked you guys. I mean, I'm laughing, but when you're going through it, it is not fun. It's very scary, but we are here to make light of these things that we go through because we have two choices, right? We can laugh through it and be joyful, or we can just be miserable through it. And yes, we're going to have times during treatment, during chemo especially, which is the hardest part of the treatment. We're going to have times when we're crying, when we're mad, and that's all good. But then I flip it, just change it to, okay, I'm just gonna have fun and crack jokes. That's what I did. I would text my bestie like stuff that was happening, the symptoms, and she would be like laughing so hard because when you have a lot of pain, literal, physical, and emotional and spiritual, that's when you're the funniest. Let me tell you, that's been my experience. Another symptom, forget where you park. Or even if you even have a car, like you're like, wait, I'm not joking. I wish I was joking, but I would be like, wait, I do have a car. Yes, okay. Where did I park? I have no idea. I would have to take pictures of where I parked, and because I had chemo brain, I would forget to take pictures, and then I'd be crying trying to find my car. Especially in those parking lots that is P1, P2, P10, and like I have no idea, where I am. And I learned to kind of remember to put on my, notes or my text myself, you're on P2, P3. Oh, another thing, oh my God, this is so embarrassing though. I would blame my ADHD, which also makes it worse. Okay, so mixing up words like toothpaste and tax return, and I'm not kidding you. That's what happens. Okay, so if all of these happen to you during or after chemo treatment, that's chemo brain. Stats that you need to know though: 75% of patients feel the effects during the treatment, and 35% still experiencing fog long after. Oh, yes. I can tell you, I've been out of treatment for 2.5 years. I still sometimes do forget stuff. And the walking into a room, well, that's, everybody forgets what they're doing. But with the ADHD, I think it's taking me a little bit longer to recoup. But I would say I'm 80 to 90% better than I used to be. It's embarrassing. Sometimes, listen, I would be in bed. I had a couple of times, and I think it was the drugs that were giving me like after surgery and stuff. Like after surgery, first of all, one day I remember I woke up and I'm like, where am I? I didn't know. I was in my bed. I had no idea. I was sleeping on the other side of my bed where I usually sleep because I had to have a little one of those V, shaped things that you put up like this because my breast, I couldn't turn and anything. I had to sleep like that. And I literally, that was the first time I had like a really weird feeling. That's never happened to me. And then I had it maybe a couple of times during and after chemo, where I'm like, where am I going? And to be honest, I never had those problems before chemo. My memory has always been amazing. And except for names, people, I remember faces, not names. But that was really scary, you guys. It was very, very scary. Feel free to comment, by the way. I think I can see the comments. I have um, a new program called Restream, and it's really good. Okay, I see it right here. So let me make sure that I am getting comments from YouTube. So feel free to comment if you've been through this experience, if you have any questions, if you want to share your experience, I'll share mine with you. I'm very open about my cancer journey because I want to make sure that my experience serves a purpose. Why did I go through this if I'm not going to use it to, help others, and help myself too, because as I share the experience, it's healing for me too. So let's go to the real science of why we get chemo brain. So chemo drugs like Taxol and cisplatin cross the blood-brain barrier, inflaming protective glial cells. I have no idea what they are. Kind of like giving your brain a sunburn. Okay, well that now we're talking. Okay. So I researched all this for you guys. So it got, oh my gosh, can you imagine your brain gets a sunburn and then it's like blisters, and maybe that's why those are the chemo pockets of forgetfulness, the blisters you get in your brain. I don't know. And this is very interesting and very scary because they especially target your hippocampus, the brain's memory librarian. Again, I used to have great memory. Now it's coming back, but slowly but steadily, you guys. Let me tell you one thing. This is a sidebar. One thing they don't tell you when you're going through chemo, which actually is good because then you'll be like, I am not doing this. The effects of radiation and chemo, especially chemo, last for I mean, like years, a long time. Like I said, I'm still suffering from some of the symptoms. I still am going to doctors, for certain side effects that I had, after my treatment. And it's all fixable and it's all fine. And treatment does save your life. Okay. I was stage 3, you guys, and I survived it because of the fantastic treatment that I got. Okay. Let me tell you one story. I once called almond milk nut juice. I'm not kidding you. For a full 6 months, and I didn't blink. Chemo said, "Forget your filter, babe. It's okay." Yeah, no, it's just seriously. No, it's embarrassing. It's very embarrassing. That's one thing about this treatment. It is so embarrassing because you do stuff that you're like, you have to excuse yourself. I don't excuse myself anymore. I'm like, yeah, I'm a cancer survivor. All right. Act 2, because again, chemo brain deserves a screenplay. Act 2. What is Act 2? Where is Act 2? Oh, there it is. I put it up and then see, that's not okay. By the way, like I told you, I am um doing I know I'm handling a new streaming service, so bear with me. Okay, dude. Okay. Oh, because this streaming service, like unlike the other one, it takes a little bit to do it because it's like fancy. All right. I take it. I take it. All right, you guys, let's go to Act 2, real life struggles of chemo brain. Oh, honey. Oh, honey. Again, tell me your experiences and any questions that you have. I want to have a conversation about this, okay, with you guys. So let's talk human stories, okay? Because while the science is real, so is the absurdity of it all. Okay. So I have some listener stories because I've been doing this podcast for over a year now, a year and a half, I think. And I get people telling me their stories, and I'm allowed to tell them, just change the name. So we're going to call her Janice from Milwaukee. I left a loaf of bread in the dryer, okay, and thought it was my sweater. Okay, you think that's crazy, but it's not. And she says, I sobbed and then laughed so hard I forgot why I was crying. Yeah, because you're like, first of all, it hits you like, oh my God, what is happening to me? What? I'm just like, and you cry because it's like, what's happening to my brain? And then you just laugh because you have to. You have to. And again, another survivor story who's been through chemo. We're gonna call her Lila in Austin. She says, I gave a big work presentation over Zoom and called my boss mom. Not once, but twice. He's never looked at me the same. Oh, Lila. Oh, Lila, Lila, Lila. Yes, yes. I actually was doing a podcast. I was interviewing somebody, and I literally forgot their name. And I've known this person for a long time. I could not, my brain could not retrieve the name. That's how scary it is. And people who haven't gone through it don't understand. And they're like, oh, you're dumb. No, we're not dumb. We've been through hell and back. And we're actually smart and strong because surviving this shit, we didn't ask for it. You know, when people tell you, oh, you're so strong. Hey, listen, I did not want to be strong. I didn't want to go through this so I can be like, I'm so strong. Who cares? I don't want to know that. I don't care. But, you go through it and you find out what you're made of. And we are powerful, magical beings. I always say that. Remember that. Okay. So, I'm going to tell you about my own blunders because they are kind of funny. Okay. So, I scheduled a dream Zoom and actually waited for it to start. I scheduled it and I was waiting for it to start. What? I did a stand-up set and repeated the same punchline 3 times. Oh, that's another thing. Now I have to take my notes where I have bullet points because after that happened, but the audience thought it was avant-garde and edgy, so what the hell, right? Anyway, all right, you guys. Before we continue, I want to show you a video about the book that I wrote called Get This Off My Chest because I had breast cancer. So it's my journey, my transformational journey through cancer. It has pictures and everything, and it's available at thestateofgraceshop.com, which is my online shop, and it's only $5.99 for a PDF coffee. Did you see coffee? Did you hear that? Coffee? I probably want coffee. That's what it is. PDF copy, Grace, copy. Okay, so PDF coffee. I'm gonna write that down. That's a classic. Give me a PDF. What kind of coffee do you want? I want a PDF coffee, honey, because I'm sexy like that. Anyway, so you can download the PDF copy and you can read it on your laptop or your phone. So here we go, babe. Enjoy it. When I got cancer, something woke up in me. I tapped into my self healing powers. I started visualizing light moving through my body and things began to shift. Oh, honey, I'm not special. You can do this too. Your body knows how to heal. You just have to listen. My book, The Golden Bridge, shares how I did it and how you can start. Let's heal. Okay, I meant The Golden Bridge. Not Get This Off My Chest. I do have that one too. Let me see. I have to get it. Am I still showing? No, I'm showing at the bottom. See video. Ba-da. Yes, here it is. Okay. So let's go. Life hit me with a storm I never saw coming. Stage 3 breast cancer. But let me tell you something. When the storm passes, something beautiful can emerge. I know because I lived it. Get This Off My Chest is my story of transformation. It's about finding peace, joy, and positivity in the middle of the hardest battle of my life. This book is for anyone who's ever felt overwhelmed by life's challenges, especially when it comes to your health. It's not just another cancer memoir, it's a guide to reclaiming your life, your joy, and your power. When I was going through cancer treatment, I made a choice to laugh through the chaos, to surround myself with love, and to embrace every single day with gratitude. I want to share that with you. Get This Off My Chest is about shifting your mindset, flipping the script, and learning to find light in the darkest moments. Because I believe that transformation is beautiful, and every challenge, no matter how hard, is an opportunity to rediscover yourself. So whether you're fighting your own battle or supporting someone you love, this book is for you. It's for the warriors, the survivors, and anyone ready to live life with joy, strength, and a whole lot of humor. Get your copy of Get This Off My Chest. It's available on my online shop, www.thestateofgraceshop.com. Your journey to healing starts now. All right. Well, actually, you know what? It was an accident because, again, I'm getting familiar with this streaming service. I'm happy that we got the Golden Bridge also, the Golden Bridge video, because I have learned how to heal myself. Of course, I go to doctors and I do treatments and all of that. I'm not playing like that, okay? But certain things that you can heal yourself, I give you tools and tell you about my experiences. So that's another book that's really good. I have another one called Healing from Within. So go to my online shop, thestateofgraceshop.com, and go click on top, books and relationship coaching. That's what it says. And just there's a lot of free guides, you guys, lots of them for cancer and relationships. And there's also books that I've written, and I'm very raw and real with my experiences. So both books are really good. Get This Off My Chest and The Golden Bridge. So definitely, I'm happy that I messed up. Uh, Let me tell you, it doesn't, it's just, I'm not going to go into it, but I'm getting used to it, guys. But I love this restream. I highly recommend it. StreamYard was having issues with connection, and this one is way, way better. It's way smoother. So I love this program, this streaming service. It's amazing. Okay, so let's go back to let's see, Act 3. Okay. So, oh, okay. See what I'm saying? I'm getting used to it. And it's not an excuse, it's real. Okay, Act 3. All right, there it is. Okay, so Act 3, Deep Science Breakdown. Let's geek out. Let's geek this out. Let's nerd it out, baby, with love. Okay? All right. So, why does chemo brain happen? All right. Number one, neuroinflammation and oxidative stress. So, what happens is chemo ramps up inflammation, which fries your brain's ability to communicate smoothly. Yes. So again, it's almost like it seems like almost like radiation of the brain, like it's kind of frying it a little bit. It's kind of scary. But anyway, I think it's reversible, and whatever is not reversible, you live with it. You survived it. That's all that matters. And also another thing is like 5 o'clock traffic in your head, lots of honking, no movement, right? So So that's what the inflammation feels like, right? A lot of honking, no movement, and it's stuck in there. And so sometimes you can't communicate well because the words don't come out. I am bilingual, so sometimes I'm like, okay, it's because I'm bilingual, and I've had that happen before, but now it's a whole different vibe about like not finding your word, right? Okay, another thing about the geeking out with the science. All right, I'm just reading this, and I am not an expert on this, but I just wanted to give you the tea on what the science says about chemo brain. So HPA axis dysfunction. What the hell is that? Okay, let's go into it. So chemo plus stress, you have cortisol overload. Oh, well, that makes sense because not only you are stressed, but your cells are stressed because they're being attacked. Especially the fast growing cells, like the lining of your stomach, of your whole GI, to be honest. Hair, that's why we lose our hair, the nails I got like wavy nails. So cute, not. So all the things like also the lining of your respiratory system, especially the nose, and also you lose hairs in the nose, so it's like constant dripping. It's so much fun. Yeah, chemo brain. Anyway, so yes, you are stressed, your cells are stressed, everything is cortisol overload. And what happens with cortisol? If you have too much cortisol, it shrinks the hippocampus. So bye-bye memory. Okay, so number 3, my loves, hormones and fog. Okay, so there is estrogen positive um, cancers like breast cancer, I think ovarian, anything reproductive, female reproductive organs can also be hormone positive. It also can be progesterone. I was triple. I was estrogen positive, progesterone positive, and HER2 positive, which is a protein in the cell. So that was a triple threat. Fun times. It's good and bad, but we can get into that actually at some other episode. So the estrogen, my point being, the estrogen protects brain cells. So hormone suppressing therapies cloud your clarity. Well, that's also what happens during menopause with women. There's less estrogen. That's why women have more brain fog. But imagine that times a million because the chemo really kind of like, I mean, not the chemo, but the hormone suppressing therapies. I can't remember. It was Herceptin, and there was another drug that they gave me, and I had it for a year, actually, that treatment. It wasn't as bad as chemo, but it was, again, it's a mess. It's a chemical imbalance in your body that's insanity. And that affects your brain, period. All right. Number 4, gut-brain axis. Ooh, this is good. So did you know that your gut has more neurotransmitters than your brain? Hello, serotonin. Yeah, it does. So chemo, remember I told you that it affects the lining of your stomach, and it also kills good gut flora, disrupting communication between the gut and the brain. Lovely. So fog isn't just in your head, honey, it's in your belly. Yeah, no words. I know. It's insanity. Total insanity. But anyway, you might ask yourself, Grace, chemo brain from the butt? Say less, honey. Now I understand why probiotics feels like brain food. And I take a lot of probiotics. You can actually, if you're a cancer survivor or if you're going through treatment, probiotics are great because of this reason. I am vegan, so I'm not going to say the brand, but I get coconut milk, kind of like, it's a kefir, right? Whatever, however you pronounce it. And also kimchi and sauerkraut. There are some that they sell that's called something my culture or something with the word culture is in it, and they are delicious. Those kimchis, oh my God, delicious. So you can put that kimchi in your food. You can drink those kefirs, and that's going to help a little bit with your chemo brain. All right, let's go to Act 4. Woohoo! All right, I have to wait. I have to remember that it goes. Not like the other one that went directly in. Okay, 1, 2, 3, Grace. Do not despair. There it is. So now it's the fun part, which is practical tips for the comeback. Let's get into it. All right. Here's your brain rehab cheat sheet. Okay. This is your cheat sheet, brain rehab cheat sheet. Why I have a hard time cheat sheet? Because in Spanish, I think it's because the Spanish, the vowels are different in English than Spanish. And sometimes I trip on the vowels. That was a language lesson for you, brought to you by Duolingo. No, that Graceolingo. Anyway, so practical tips for the comeback. Number one, write it down, honey. Use planners, sticky notes. Hello, love these all over my place. I also have these. I'm not going to show you what I wrote, but I have these. Put them all over. I mean, I have these little clipboards and I put all of these cards and I have these stickies all over. Okay. Phone alarms are also great to remind you. Like if you have a meeting and you're definitely going to forget when you have chemo brain, you set an alarm. And also the iPhone has, I think, the memos, which they actually, you can write why you're setting the alarm. Okay. So, number one, like we said, is write it down. This is your brain rehab cheat sheet, okay? Cognitive offloading gives your working memory a break. So, cognitive offloading. And I assume that that is just resting your brain, okay? There's a lot, like, especially when we scroll through TikTok, let's say, or YouTube, sometimes for us chemo patients, it's a lot. And so and you're absorbing a lot of information and your brain is like, girl, I'm frying with these drugs. Okay. So give me a break. So that's what that is. Harvard says that this works, and I say it's mandatory. All right. Number two, brain rehab cheat sheet point or bullet point. Play brain games. Yes. Okay. Studies show that consistent training improves neuroplasticity. I'm going to tell you what I did. I went to Duolingo and reviewed my French and learned some Italian, which my grandparents spoke Italian, so I kind of know a little bit, but I formally started learning Italian. Okay. Also, other brain games, Lumosity, Brain HQ, and even an old school crossword puzzle works. Also, I've done some, what is it called? Let me see if still have it on my phone. I think I deleted it. Yeah, because it reminded me of chemo. But there's some like wordscapes or something like that. They're really good. Anything that has words that you have to like remember words and create the words and see, like they give you like, let's say 10 letters and you have to do as many words as you can. And it's very competitive and it's super fun. I did that all the time and Duolingo. So go ahead, play brain games, baby. Keep those neural pathways working. You want to build new neural pathways, okay? Because your brain is frying. So you want to push those neurons to connect with each other. That's what's happening. They don't connect. So you want them to beep, beep, connect. When you forget, when you have chemo brain and you're like, where did I park my car? Or what was I saying? Which happens all the time. It's the neurons are like, so you want it to go. Okay, so train those suckers, baby. All right. Number three of your brain rehab cheat sheet. Eat like a brain queen. Oh, yes. So I'm going to give you some foods that are going to help your brain. Blueberries, they're memory boosters, and they're delicious. Who doesn't like blueberries? Turmeric is an inflammation fighter. Also, it's kind of like a cancer fighter because it is an inflammation fighter. So there's a lot of spices that you want to take not just during chemo but after. And I'm going to do a whole episode on foods to A, reduce your cancer risk, and B, have a healthy life. Yes, and I'm going to give you exactly what I do, what I eat. It's all very planned and structured because I ain't playing. All right. Another thing that you can do to eat like a brain queen or king is walnuts because it has omega 3s for brain structure. Yeah, so omega 3s are very important for the brain. Kefir and sauerkraut, like I said before, you guys, it's gut healthy. And the healthier your gut is, the more clarity you're going to have. Because remember, your gut and your brain are connected. Everything in your body is connected. Remember that. So, our medicine, Western medicine, separates everything. That's the way they do it. That's fine. But it's our job to do the holistic kind of structure and healing also with food as medicine. That's the episode. And I should write it on a sticky because you know what? I'm going to forget it. So that should be my next episode. Food as medicine. Love it. Okay. That one should actually, that one should be for everybody because if you eat healthy, I know it's not going to prevent you from having disease or cancer because there's other factors like the environment, your emotional and psychological state. If you have disease in your whole system, then yes, you're going to get sick. But food, oh my gosh, it can, if you eat the right macronutrients, vitamins, and minerals, you're set. You're going to actually have a better chance of fighting anything that your body's going through. Okay, so this is all the practical tips because you know, guys, I'm all about the practical tips because it's like I can talk, but what can we do, right? So, this is another brain rehab cheat sheet bullet point, and it is honor your sleep. Why, you say? Because sleep is detox for your brain. A dark room, that's very important. That's what I started doing. I have curtains, it's dark. Magnesium, I actually take this one, which is really good. It's also good for muscle pain because that's one of the side effects, muscle pain and joint pain. So magnesium, it's called glycinate. I highly recommend. Take it before bed, like 3 hours, and it's double whammy. It's going to help you sleep and it's going to help you with your joint pain and muscle pain. And so dark room, magnesium, and a solid wind down routine are gold. So don't just go to sleep. Maybe what I do is I scroll a little bit and I'm like, I'm going to stop at this time. And then I put some healing frequency music that's all over YouTube. 432 HZ and 530 HZ are my favorites. And I just put that, I meditate, I just breathe, and I fall asleep. So studies, by the way, show that poor sleep, you have worse brain fog. And I know it's hard to sleep when you are going through chemo. It's almost impossible. I decided to take edibles, which are legal in California. If they're not legal in your state, ask your doctor what you can do so you can sleep better because sleep is very important also for your cells to repair, right? So yeah, definitely during chemo and after. As a cancer survivor, you really gotta get with the program, you know. And another thing to do for your rehab sheet literally is doing to get moving. So walk 30 minutes a day, boost blood flow and neural growth because you want that neural growth to grow, right? Dancing. Oh my God, I was dancing last night. I just put this, his name is Connor Maynard. He's Irish and he does like remakes of different songs and he puts like little pieces of the songs together and it's delicious. And I was just dancing, you know, because dancing, what is it? It's cardio and joy. It brought me so much joy, you know, with the situation, the world situation that is happening right now. It's like we need some joy, right? We need, and music, oh my God, and dancing to music, girl, that's amazing. Twerk for your neurons, baby. Okay. All right. So the next bullet point for your brain rehab cheat sheet is going to be mindfulness and meditation. All you need is 10 minutes a day. It can shrink stress centers in the brain. So, what I do is in the morning when I'm kind of sleepy, I just breathe, 4 in, 4 hold, 4 out. I do that 4 times. I put some 432 or 528 HZ music and just relax and let my mind just be at peace, okay? And it can shrink those stress centers because, needless to say, like we said before, you go through so much stress when you go through chemo. It's insane. So if you do mindfulness and meditation, and mindfulness, by the way, meditation doesn't mean you'd have to do it for 20 minutes. You can just do what I told you and just that, or you can be another version. Your version could be different. I don't know, whatever it is, just breathe. Breathing makes your mind quiet down, right? So a bigger prefrontal cortex is better decision making and memory. Yes, that's what that is all about. Mindfulness and meditation. And my favorite one for your rehab cheat sheet is laugh. Why, you ask? Well, honey, laughter boosts oxygen, lowers cortisol, and resets your system. Also, it releases endorphins, which are the pleasure hormones that actually lowers your stress. And it makes your inner child feel seen because being silly is the best way to be, baby. Yes. All right. If you have any questions, want to share your experiences, I'm here for you. I would love to hear from you and put everything in the chat. Even after the live, you can put whatever questions or experiences you had in the chat. I'm really good at replying the comments. Okay. All right, we're getting to the Act 5, which is going to be our last act. And that is finding joy in the fog. Yes. You're like, how the hell do you do that, Grace? Well, I used to feel embarrassed about all the chemo fog and the chemo brain and all that stuff. But you know what? No one's keeping score. We think people are watching, keeping score. They don't care. They're busy with their own lives. They're busy. Do I look good? Is my fit good? They're lifing. Their life is lifing, right? So life is improv, babe. You forget, you pivot, and you laugh anyway. Okay, we have some fan stories. I changed the names per their request, but not the place where they live. And we have a fan story, Raquel in New York City. Let's see what Raquel has to say. I'm laughing in advance. Sorry. I forgot the word broom and called it the dust stick. Oh my God, so relatable for those of us that went through chemo and still suffer the consequences. And actually, she says it caught on. Now the whole family says it. I started a linguistic revolution. Bravo, Raquel. Love it. That's the way to go, baby. So here we have Andre in San Diego. He says, I tried to FaceTime this. No explanation. Just held the phone to it like I was checking in. No, 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 no. No, I can't with that. See, it's almost like you're living in a whole different dimension when you have chemo brain. Really. I am not joking. It's like insanity, you guys. Crazy. All right. Closing thoughts, my loves. Closing thoughts. Okay, let's put it up here. Closing thoughts. Da 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 da. Okay. So, chemo brain. It is not the end of your brilliance. It's actually part of your rebirth. You're not lazy. You're not dumb, and you're not broken. You're healing. And healing, honey, is nonlinear. It's weird, wild, and funny. And you're a miracle in progress. And let's close with some affirmations right here. All right. Laugh at your fog. Be gentle with your comeback. Share your story. You'll be surprised how many people whisper, me too. If this episode made you laugh, cry, or feel a little less alone, share it, tag me, review it, and invite someone else to this healing party. Because, honey, healing together is the best kind of medicine. I will produce a free guide within the next couple of hours, and I'm going to pin it in the comments with all these tips, and it's going to be available at thestateofgraceshop.com. And remember, Even if you forgot why you opened this podcast, you're still a damn queen or a damn king. Have a beautiful day. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I hope this helped you. And here is the topic that we talked about. Chemo brain, the fog is real, but so is the comeback. All right. Have an amazing rest of your day. And I will see you next month with another episode of Cancer Joy Club podcast.